Welcome, everyone. I am Cynthia Schneider, your CEO at the top of Virginia Regional Chamber, where we connect business and community resources for mutual success. And today we are here to do a ribbon cutting for our newest member, the 2 for 2 Foundation. We are at the Winchester Regional Airport. And this location was chosen particularly because it's an excellent example of how business and public and private entities can come together and encourage the economic drivers that make us such a culturally rich community. So today I'm going to be doing a ribbon cutting with them and presenting Linda Tyler, who's representing 2 for 2, and they're going to share with you a huge vision and a mission for how to help support our community for generations to come. So with me today to perform the ribbon cutting are Paul, Paige, and Chase. Paul and Paige represent the Winchester swim team and the swimming community, and Chase represents the Winchester Hockey League and the hockey community. And that's a little hint about what's to come. So, Chase, if you will please cut the ribbon. Ready? Woo! On behalf of the top of Virginia Regional Chamber, we welcome you to the Chamber, and we thank you for your membership and the partnership and this amazing collaboration in what you are planning to bring to our community.
Thank you, Cynthia, very much for having us into the Chamber. We sure appreciate it, and we're not going to disappoint.
Thank you.
All right.
And so now to tell you about the huge vision is Linda and her representatives.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming. First thing I do want to say is, did you notice that there's water falling? Okay, that's a good sign for a swim pool and an ice facility. I always look for that little bright thing that we've got. I'd like to introduce some of the members that are here, and some may not be. I'm Linda Tyler. I'm on the board with 2 for 2 Foundation. I was asked back in the summertime to get involved. I was a past Frederick County Board of Supervisor 20 years ago, and I thought we were going to get one at one point. And being a past Olympian for swimming and loving to just skate, I think this is an absolute wonderful endeavor to do, and it's a heavy, heavy lift, but I have no doubt that we're going to be able to get there. So on the board that we have is myself, and we have Ken Kempson. I don't think he's here. Judy Schroer. Raise your hand if you're here for me. We have Wendy Dorsey. Yes, we have Dr. Stephen Bauer is also there, and Jeremy Linenberg is on our board. Shelley Lee and Tag Grove are with our 2 for 2 co-chairs, which I'm going to be speaking about a little bit. And Kelly was actually with Winchester Swim Team the first person to step forward with talent, resource, and money to make this happen. And then thank you to our students for showing up. Very excited to see what's going on with all of this. And you're going to have to educate me a little bit more about the hockey scene, okay? But I'm not getting on the ice anytime soon, all right? Yes, indeed. And then also, thank you to the Chamber. Your vision matches our vision because we're all about the community. You know, everything that we do is partnership, trying to make everything better around here so we're a more welcoming community. We want to have all the resources to continue for our growth and to have happy citizens. And I think this is a really great partnership that's going to happen with this one. And then Nick Sabo with the airport, thank you very much for helping us with that. And then the 2 for 2 Foundation. What it stands for is we are going to set 2 world records for 2 facilities. All right, so we're going to have these 2 world records. I'm going to talk about those, but we have found that the skate and the swim facilities are a marriage together that work very well. Our mission is to develop this, to get the money to be able to support this project, and also with an endowment fund for a couple decades to be able to keep up with the facilities. So that's basically what we want to do. And we want to use an educational format that all the way from child all the way up to adult. There are opportunities for inclusion, and I'm going to let the mayor here talk a little bit more about inclusion with this project. The business model is not for profit, and that means that not one of us are getting paid for any of our time, anything that we do. Everything we do, all our energies, everything is going for the TWO Foundation for success. That's what we want to have. And we are encouraging volunteer involvement. We need lots of volunteers, and I know the Chamber has a lot of talent and a lot of resources, and the resources aren't necessarily monetary. We're going to be needing a lot of help to set these world records, to raise the money and funds that are needed. So that's why it's just such a great treasure for us to be able to be part of the Chamber, and I certainly appreciate that. If you want to volunteer, your only qualification is that you bring your time and your talent and your resources. It can be from toddler to older person like myself. Any kind of thing that you can offer is going to be taken, and we're going to put you into good use. There's no doubt about it. The benefits are going to be going to our better health, to the community at large. I would like to see that everybody in this area, in the region, can swim. Too many deaths occur because people don't know how to swim. Swimming affords you lots of opportunities that I had for travel and different things. But the real function, I think, for me, is that everyone needs to know how to swim. Back in the day, we had the Red Cross. They don't do that anymore due to resources, so that's one of the projects. We've got lots of different benefits that are going to go. But I truly believe this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We have a lot of synergy going on right now. This is something that the citizens have asked for. It's been on Frederick County's CIP, or, those are our projects that we have in the foreseeable future. It's been there for over 20 years. It's time to move it up. It's time to get all the way to the top, and if we can't use Frederick County, then we're going to do it our daggone self. Just get out of the way and let us do our job. There is no compensation, but what we are doing is also trying to keep the tax debt down so we don't incur any more debt. Being a supervisor, I understand the hallowed tax rate, which I appreciate. However, we need this facility, and in order to make it happen, it's going to take the citizenry of Frederick County, all of our wonderful resources and talents to be able to do that. Because we're not for profit, we've sought out the local governments to let us partner with them to achieve the funding facilities. And Doug McCarthy on the Frederick County Board of Supervisors, after numerous meetings, has become a very strong supporter of this. And we'd like to have you see what he actually said in support of this project.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Supervisor McCarthy.
I have two comments. First, as we all know, the Parks and Rec Commission presented this board with a proposal for an aquatic center last year and started an effort to get a referendum on the ballot to determine whether or not the county residents had a desire to borrow in excess of $20 million for construction of that facility. And we know that measure did not succeed, in great part due to, I believe, the costs to the taxpayer and other higher priority needs for taxpayer-funded services. Late last year, several supporters of the Aquatic Center initiative came together to recognize that if the community was ever going to be in a position to establish such an aquatics facility, that it would need to be done as a private-public partnership, with a significant bulk of the cost being paid for by the private sector. These supporters of an aquatic center have formed a nonprofit foundation called the 2 for 2 Foundation, and they've been working very hard to garner the financial support of private donors in our community. I've met and been communicating with the representatives from 2 for 2 Foundation several times over the past couple months, and I believe that their idea of a privately funded aquatics and ice rink facility, if it can come to fruition, would be a valuable asset to our community, especially if it comes to us with little to no cost to the taxpayer. This week, I also met with Clark County Supervisor Doug Lawrence, who also sees the potential in this public-private partnership to bring a great asset to our region that could benefit the citizens of Frederick and Clark counties and perhaps other localities as well. I've asked the 2 for 2 Foundation to begin to formalize their proposal for such a facility that can be presented to the boards of supervisors for consideration. And I'd like to encourage each of my fellow supervisors to encourage and support this effort, which was undertaken by the 2 for 2 Foundation, and to meet with its representatives to discuss the potential for such facility in our community and the inroads that they've made with their private donors. I'd also encourage my fellow supervisors to consider the possibility of joining with Clark County or other localities to partner up with the 2 for 2 Foundation to make such a facility a reality. My hope is that in the coming months, we'll be hearing a lot more about the development of the facility plan and the private funding of such a facility. I'm very pleased to see so many private citizens coming together to make this vision a reality, and I wholeheartedly support their efforts moving forward on this.
Woo! That was kind of a magical moment. I will tell you, that was an awful lot of fun to be able to see that. But I think he sees the potential. he knows we have something. We have something that nobody else has, which is a community of volunteers. So that's, and people who are philanthropists in our community, and people like me who don't have a dime, but I'm willing to give my time. Okay, so that's what we need to do here. I'm going to introduce Miss Kelly. She's going to be talking a little bit about Winchester Swim Team. She is our first partner that actually put weight, money, and talent behind this.
Thank you, Linda.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Again, I'm Kelly Warner-Garris. I'm currently the administrator for the Winchester Swim Team. I've been part of the organization for a little over 10 years. In the past, I've been a board member. I've had 3 family members of mine swim with the team, and I'm very proud to be here today and thank the Chamber and the 2 for 2 Foundation for bringing everybody together. Just over a year ago, 2 for 2 approached the Winchester Swim Team Board of Directors and introduced their members and their vision for 2 facilities within our community. As many of you know, an aquatic center in this area has been on the CIP for Frederick County for over almost 30 years. The need is definitely there. The visions have been there. The efforts have been there. I've been part of many meetings and groups that tried to get together and bring their resources, and for one reason or another just came upon a dead end, or COVID hit. There's multiple things that have happened. So when we were approached, and these resources and the folks with 2 for 2, their vision matched with many of ours, and they have the time and the energy. Boy, do they have the energy and the resources to pull the multiple efforts from all these different organizations, swim teams, and youth groups together to fundraise and deliver what the County Board of Supervisors has asked us to do. And I think that they're going to show the value in what that facility can provide for our local area. Like I said, swim team parents across the region for several decades have tried to stress the benefits of adding such facilities to our community, running into many roadblocks along the way. And we're so happy for the 2 for 2 Foundation volunteers for stepping up and organizing these local efforts. The need is real. Swimming in our community is limited by the lack of pool space and practice time. Many of you here have experienced that firsthand. The local swim programs would expand and grow tremendously if the proper resources were in place. Even with these limited resources, our local high schools and USA swim teams have produced some great swimmers over the years. In fact, this past weekend, we just finished up state championships in Richmond, and 2 of our swimmers that participated are here today, Paige Simcoe and Paul Warner-Garris. Paige finished 4th in the 100 breasts and 8th in the 200 individual medley, and Paul finished 7th in the 100 breasts and the 200 individual medley. Not only these are 2 swimmers that were there last week, but our area, our county, both our local counties, Clark County was on Friday or Thursday, Frederick County was on, and the Winchester City for 4A was on Saturday. There were so many teams that and swimmers that went to the finals in the top 8 who had personal best times, and many school records were broken. I was there firsthand working on deck as an official, and to see so many local swimmers there, more than I've seen in many years, is just a tribute to the coaches and the teams, both from a high school standpoint and the USA Swimming. So they deserve a lot of praise and congratulations for their efforts. Over the last, and then in the next 4 weeks, doesn't end with just high school season, because USA Short Course Championships are here. Not only, I think within the area, we have at least 35 swimmers between VSTP and WST going to senior championships, age group championships, and then on to Florida for NCSA, where Paul and Paige will be swimming at that meet. That's one of the fastest national meets in the country, as well as ISCA in St. Petersburg, where we'll take our older swimmers and our 14 and unders to participate and compete against swimmers across the country. So we're very proud of their efforts, and this is an exciting time of the year for swimming in our community. And while these accomplishments are fantastic, there has always been that what if notion of what this sport could become if adequate resources were available to them locally. That hope is always alive, and with the support of the 2 for 2 Foundation, WST, VSTP will do all of that they can to support their efforts. to help our local sports organizations grow into the future. WST has come on board as a partner with 2 for 2 Foundation, and with the future fundraising, for instance, the world record that we have planned and you'll hear more about in the future, WST is committed to $250,000 towards those efforts and fundraising. It's exciting. So thank you to 2 for 2 Board of Directors and for the Top of Virginia Chamber of Commerce for bringing all of us together today, and hopefully all of our efforts will be merged. I encourage you all to share our future and near Facebook and social media information on your platforms, get the word out, and stir up some more interest in our efforts and support for both great organizations. Thank you.
Our next speaker is the mayor, Herbold. Yep, he's here as Director of Access Independence. It's another component that's very important to our swim and skate facilities on inclusion and education. So with nothing else to do, here's Mr. Mayor.
Thank you to the Chamber and the 2 for 2 Foundation. I really enjoyed reading the comments in the Winchester Star today, if you guys had, about this article about the 2 for 2 Foundation and what their plans are for this facility. They plan exit and entrance ramps for people in wheelchairs, and they plan to have visual cues for people that are deaf and hard of hearing. So I think this will be a great atmosphere for a lot of people, for the whole community to use. A lot of times in these situations, the public has a way of pushing the government into the direction that it needs to go, and the public sees that this is a need in the community. And I think about something similar that was done, the James R. Wilkins Jr. Athletics and Events Center. And there was, a little bit of concern and hesitancy to build that, but now you've built it. Look at how everything's coming together. I've broadcast their women's basketball games for 7 years, and before that, before they got their new facility, they were a 500 team, if not worse, and that's being generous. But the year after, they won the championship. And there's a lot to say for what would happen and the confidence of these young men and women when they get a brand new facility, when they get new digs. And the same thing here at the airport. There's a visual aid over there of potential hangars and what they want them to look like. But that's to attract new people to this area. And the confidence that you get when you have a new facility for these folks will be immeasurable. So thank you for considering Access Independence. We've had a long partnership with the county and the city since 1985, serving the region. We helped at Jim Barnett Park, and we look forward to this prospect as well. And I think that we have a bright future. And if we can go to the counties and cities and say, hey, we have $5 million for this project, we have $10 million for this project, it'll get moved. And that's commonplace, with towns and cities. If you have VDOT grants and you go to them and say you have a certain portion of the money, it makes it much more plausible that the project will be done. So I look forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think it's very important to understand what we're trying to do for inclusivity. It is not simply just swimming, although that is my love. But like you said, we can do so much for our community and for those that haven't had any ability to do anything. So that's wonderful. What I'd like to do quickly here is talk about our world records that we're going to hold and what is 2 for 2, right? We are the 2 for 2 Foundation. We're going to set 2 world records for 2 facilities. What are those world records? They're very interesting, and it's going to be Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know, I'm of a certain age. Every year I would get a new copy of the Guinness Book of World Records, and I would sit there and read that thing and figure out how people could do the things they do. Well, folks, we have an opportunity in this community to not only set 1, but 2 records. And what we're going to do, the first one we're going to do anyway, is going to be the world's largest ice cream cone, okay? Or the ice cream sandwich. So that's not quite the size that we're looking for, all right? But it gives you the idea of what we're doing. And we have some great partners on this. For the largest ice cream cone, it will have to weigh, anybody take a guess? Let me hear a guess of how many pounds this ice cream sandwich needs to be. 100. 100? No, it needs to be at least 2,500 pounds. That's an enormous endeavor to be able to do. But we have every faith that we're going to be able to do this. So we're going to pull this off and set the world record for the largest ice cream sandwich. The next part of it, do we have that? Is a human ice cream cone. Okay, so we're gonna even have a cherry on the top, and we're gonna have Olympian swimmers or whatever up on the top of this ice cream cone. And the record for the ice cream cone is 478 humans, all right? And I say humans because we want humans from little size to big size, okay? And we have to have that, but our goal is 1,500. So we're pretty goal-specific people. And not only do we want to beat a record, we want to smash a record, okay? So that's what we're going to end up doing. More details are going to be happening with our world records. We're talking with people that have the facilities to be able to do this. We're still working with our partners. So we're not exactly sure where and when, but I guarantee you it will be happening in the fall, and we are going to beat those 2 records. So we're going to have bragging rights. So we're going to have 2 world records for 2 facilities in the year of 22. And thank you for the little 2:42 start time for us at 2:42. I mean, everything's going and it's raining, so it's perfect. But I appreciate all of you coming out, everything you've done. Mayor, I can't wait to start working with you on Access Independence on this and the swim team. And we're ready. Are y'all ready? Okay. All right.
Thank you for all of you for the amazing initiative that you're attempting
We're
to
gonna do this, girl.
You are.
We're gonna do it.
Thank you for what you're doing for our community. You can find them on Facebook.
Yes, 2 for 2
You can
Foundation.
find them on the Chamber website, and that'll take you to Facebook because I don't know that address. So regionalchamber.biz, look for the 2 for 2 Foundation and see how you can get involved in making this dream become a reality.
Excellent. Thank you all for showing up. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for being here today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate everything. That's wonderful. This is beautiful.